Hi, Ashley here with Heart Hook Home, and today we are learning how to do the reverse shell stitch in single crochet. I've gone ahead and made my first border in pink. You could do this in yellow or blue or any contrasting color to make it really pop. I just like the pink. So we are going to pick a place and attach, and I'm just going to do that with a simple slip. And now when we're doing our shells, each shell consists of 3 stitches. So 3 stitches wide, and then we'll do a shell on top of those 3 stitches. So first I'm going to chain 1 to start, and now I'm going to do single crochet in the first 3, and I'm going to go into that very first one as well. So I'm going to do single crochet once, twice, and now I have 3 single crochets in a row. Okay, so now we've got 3 single crochets. Now, in order to get the chain that I'm going to use to go into to create that shell, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go to the back side of this first stitch and slip stitch it. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to slip stitch to that very first one that I made. So pull that straight on through. Okay, so now we've created a little chain that we can then crochet around. So first I'm going to chain 1, then I'm going to turn my work back. And now I'm going to do 7 double crochets into that chain, and it's going to make a pretty little shell. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so first shell made. Isn't that cute? So now for all of the other ones, this is what we're going to do. The first one's a little bit different because you have to anchor it here for the first one. So now for all subsequent shells, what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So this is the end of that first one. So I'm going to go into this one, and that one. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to turn our work again, but instead of going into this first one, we're going to go into the post behind this. So let's chain our 3 to get that chain that we need. 2, 3. Now let's turn our work. There's our tail from the first one. Ignore that. So now we are going to slip stitch in this space. Okay, so insert your hook there, pull your yarn over, and slip stitch that together. It's a little tricky. Okay, there's my slip. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing I just did, where I chain 1 and then turn my work back, and I'm going to work 7 double crochets into the chain that I just made. So we'll go 1, oops, that ended up being half double, hold on. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now that shell sits behind this shell. You can see here's our first one, and our second one just sits right behind there. And now we're going to make the next one sit behind this one, and so that they kind of overlap every time we make a new shell. So in order to make a new one, we're going to go into the next 3 stitches. So we've already done that one, so we're going to go into this one. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn and anchor right here, just like we did on the first one. Anchor right here with a slip stitch. Make that as nice as possible. Chain 1, and now we're going to work 7 double crochets around that chain that we just created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next 3, or 1 in each. 1, 2, 3. Just make sure you're not counting the one that you used the last time. You want to go into the next one. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to chain 3, anchor, just like we did last time, slip stitch, chain 1, turn, and we're going to do our 7 double crochets right into there. So yeah, you're just basically, you're doing 3 single crochets, chain 3, anchor it, and then go back and make a chain 1, and then go back and add your 7 double crochets to that shell. I didn't count these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is it. So then when they lay down, they lay nice and flat. One is always going to be behind the one before it. So now, see how that's got a pretty little effect down here too? I just love it. I just think it's so pretty. So now, when you go all the way around your blanket and you come back to this side, what you're going to do, you're going to want this one to be behind the one that you end up placing here. So when you finish the shell right here, which will be this, if that makes sense, you're just going to slip stitch it to the front of this one, because that will make this one stay behind and the other one will be in front of it. So that is all. We'll do one more before we go, in case you need it. And of course, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to ask or answer. You'll be happy to ask, I'll be happy to answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Anchor that to the big post made in the first one. So right here, right? Anchor that with a slip stitch. Chain 1, turn, and then you make your 7 double crochets around that chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is important to note that this is a 3-stitch repeat, so when you do your border, you're going to ideally want that border to have multiple of 3, your base border, if that makes sense. So each one of these is 3 stitches, so you want to make sure that you have an even number of 3s as you go around the entire work. If you don't, you could kind of sneak a single crochet in there every once in a while. I would definitely check it when you get to one of these corners or somewhere decently close to the end, so that you can say, okay, this is how many stitches I have left, and is that a multiple of 3? And if it's not, then you can either do 2 single crochets together. It's not really going to change the overall effect, but it'll make it to where you end on an even correct number. So I hope you love this border as much as I do. It's just beautiful, and give it a shot and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.